Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at something that blends old school communication with modern technology in a really pretty interesting way. This is KaYoTom long range two-way radios, and unlike traditional walkie-talkies that rely on short range radio signals, this system uses 4G LTE connectivity with a built-in SIM card. That means you're not just talking about line of sight communication anymore. We're actually talking about a network-based communication that can potentially work across cities, states, and even countries depending on coverage. So in this video, I'm going to break down how it works, how well it does, where it might fall short, and who this type of device is actually best for. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First, the biggest selling point is probably and definitely going to be the 4G LTE system. Right out of the box, these radios are pre-installed with a SIM card and are designed to work without complicated setups. Nobody likes that. I like simple. So there's no programming frequencies or manually pairing channels like traditional radios. You basically power it on and you're ready to communicate. The idea here is simplicity, and instead of worrying about range limits like standard walkie-talkies, this system uses cellular networks to extend communication distances as long as there's service available. So you do have to have service, but if you have service available, you're able to use these walkie-talkies. That makes it especially useful for people who travel, coordinate teams, or operate across different locations. Now, one of the claims that stands out is the 5,000 plus mile communication range. Realistically, what that means is not a direct radio to radio range like traditional walkie-talkies. Instead, it reflects the potential network reach of LTE-based communications. As long as both devices are connected to the network, distance becomes far less of a limitation compared to standard radios. That's a big shift in how we think about push-to-talk communication. Now let's talk about audio quality, because that's one of the most important parts of any communication device. The KaYoTom radios come equipped with a high-sensitivity microphone and noise filtering technology that is designed to reduce up to 95% of background noise. That's pretty impressive. In practical terms, that means your voice should stay clear in loud environments like construction sites, warehouses, trucking yards, or outdoor job locations. Instead of constantly repeating yourself over wind, machinery, or traffic noise, this system here is designed to isolate speech and deliver clear communications. For teams that rely on fast communication, that can make a real difference in efficiency. Next up is group communications, and this is a really neat function with these walkie-talkies. This is where things start to feel more modern compared to traditional walkie-talkies. You can create and manage groups of devices, meaning multiple users can stay connected in the same communication channel. There are two main ways to do this. One is by creating a group using a 6-digit code where devices are added manually through the system. The other way is by contacting support and using a device ID like IMEI numbers to link multiple radios into a shared network. That makes it flexible for both small groups and larger groups. So whether you're coordinating a work crew, managing a fleet of vehicles, or keeping a family group connected during travel, the system here is designed to scale. Now let's move on into battery performance, because that's another strong point for this device. Each unit comes with a 3,000 milliamp rechargeable battery and uses modern USB-C charging. Battery life is rated for up to around 80 hours of use and up to 15 days of standby time. That's pretty impressive. Of course, real-world usage will depend on signal strength, transmission frequency, and environment, but those numbers are still impressive for a portable communication device. Even more useful is the fast charging capability. This device can reportedly reach 50% charge in about 20 minutes using the USB-C charging cable. That's a big advantage if you're on a job site or if you're in the middle of travel and don't have hours to wait for a full recharge. Now, let's talk about durability because these radios are clearly built for tough environments. They're described as triple proof, meaning resistance to dust, water exposure, and impact from drops. They're designed for rugged use cases like construction work, field operations, and emergency response. Also, outdoor environments where normal electronics might struggle. The build also includes practical features like a belt clip for easy carrying, a headphone jack for private listening, and an emergency light which could be useful in low visibility situations or emergencies. So it's not just about communications, it's also about field usability. Now, I want to talk about something important because this is where expectations need to be realistic. This is not a traditional radio system in the sense of direct device-to-device communications over shortwave or UHF, VHF frequencies. Instead, it depends on LTE network coverage. So if you're in a remote area with no signal or inside certain dead zones, performance could be limited. On the flip side, in areas with strong cellular coverage, this system can actually outperform traditional walkie-talkies in terms of range and clarity. So it's really important to understand what problem you're trying to solve. Now, let's talk about real-world use cases. These radios make a lot of sense for construction teams working across large sites, trucking and logistic fleets, security teams or coordinated operations, travel groups or road trips with multiple vehicles, families that want instant communication during outings, emergency preparedness, or backup communication systems. For example, imagine a convoy of vehicles traveling long distance. Instead of relying on phone calls or group text, everyone can stay connected instantly with push-to-talk communications. Pretty neat, right? Or in a work environment, a supervisor can instantly communicate with multiple team members without dialing numbers or waiting for responses. That speed is where this type of system really shines. Now, when it comes to ease of use, this is another strong point. There's no complicated setup process, no frequency programming, and no technical knowledge required. It's designed to feel familiar like a walkie-talkie, but with more modern connectivity behind it. So overall, the KaYoTom long-range two-way radios is really a hybrid system. It takes the simplicity of a walkie-talkie and combines it with the power of LTE network communication. You get noise filtering, group communication, fast charging, rugged durability, and extended range potential depending on coverage. But at the same time, it's important to understand that it relies on network availability, not direct radio transmission. So here's my final breakdown on these two-way radios. If you want traditional off-grid communication with no dependence on cellular service, these may not replace that. But if you want modern, long-distance, easy-to-use communication for work, travel, or coordination, this is a very interesting upgrade over traditional walkie-talkies. It really comes down to how and where you plan to use it. So it really comes down to you. Which one do you want? More traditional walkie-talkie or a long-range system like this? The brand sent this to me in order for me to do the review. Thank you so much, brand. Such a high-quality product that I'm excited about having right now. And it's high quality, guys. It's built good. I can go ahead and tell you, if you drop this, it feels like it could take a lot of abuse. So if you're looking for some long-range communication devices like this, I would highly recommend you checking it out. Thanks for watching.